Hey guys, what's up? Lore Master here, and we're back with another Minecraft modding tutorials video. This is episode 2 in my new series for 1.12.2 for Minecraft, and we've just finished setting up our workspace for being able to code our mods, so now we can actually start doing some stuff. So this episode is going to be setting up some of the basic modding stuff that we need to do before we can actually create custom items and blocks and all that stuff. If you watch my other series, you'll know what I'm talking about. These are like sort of the bare bones methods, so it won't be super exciting, but it's really important, and once you get that down, then it's really easy to add a bunch of items and blocks and all that cool stuff. So yeah, we're gonna walk through it, and yeah, here we go. So first off, you'll notice that you'll have this little thing that says MDK example up here. It'll probably be closed. You can just click this little arrow to open it up. This is gonna be like your actual project itself, so you can actually right click this and click refactor and rename it to whatever mod you want. So let's say your mod is called void mod. You would type in void mod. In my case, I'm just going to call it tutorial mod, and that's just for the sake of aesthetic purposes. You don't really need to rename it if you don't want to, but that's what I'm going to do. And right here, you're going to focus on these two main folders. This is going to be your source main Java, which is going to be where all your coding is stored, and this source main resources is going to be where your actual like images are going to be, where you're going to be like sourcing your textures for your blocks and your items and that sort of stuff. So that'll be very important, not necessarily right now, but for later on. But do keep yourself aware of it. And you'll see that inside of this little source main Java folder, you have a com.example.example mod package right here. You don't actually need this. This is just for placeholder. Just right click that and delete and press OK. We're going to make a new one from scratch. So in your source main Java folder right here, right click, hit new, and hit package. And this is going to be the package where all of your mod is stored essentially. So it's very important. You're going to want to name it com.your username for Minecraft. For example, I'm going to put loremaster. It doesn't have to be your Minecraft username, but that's probably what it should be. You could put whatever your name is on the Minecraft Forge forums or YouTube. So I'm just going to put loremaster there. And then another dot and the name of your mod with no spaces. So in my case, it'll be tutorial mod, just like that. Again, if your mod is say void mod, it would be void mod like that. But in my case, it's going to be tutorial mod. There we go. And you're going to press finish down here, and that'll make a little blank package right here. Now, before we do anything else, you're going to want to go up to this little triangle in the right corner up here. Click that. It'll say view menu. Then go down to package presentation and make sure to select hierarchical, if that's how you say it, instead of flat, because flat is gonna display your files in sort of a weird way that doesn't really make much sense. So make sure to click hierarchical, and that'll make things a lot easier for you in the future. I'll just make sure that it's highlighted. There we go, cool. So in this package that you have right here, com.loremaster.tutorialmod, or whatever you named it, you're gonna make a class. So right click it and hit new and class right here. It'll be like a green circle with a C in it, and this is going to be where your actual code is, and where you'll be doing the majority of coding. And we're going to name this one main, because this is going to be where all the main initialization methods are. This is going to be where your mod is like actually initialized. We'll worry about like separate classes later, but you're just going to want to name this main right here in the name box, and just hit finish. And this will come up here. You can see it's inside of your package, and inside of here you're just going to want to add on top of public class main a little @mod tag, mod with a capital M and a little parentheses, or I think they're called parentheses. Yeah, the little bracket thingies, the parentheses, yeah, right after that. And just leave that blank for right now. We're gonna fill that in later, but this is where we're gonna add all the information about our mod. Alright, so now we actually have to make a reference class in order to store some very important variables, which we'll be putting in this little @mod parameter, because we don't want to have a bunch of stuff cluttering up our main class. So this will be a lot easier, so we can just reference our reference class. So in order to do that, we're going to make a new package. So you can actually forget about this main class for right now. Go back to your little package here, com.whatever your username is, .your mod. Right click that, and we're going to make a new package. So come here, package, and just keep whatever is written there. It should be com.yourusername.the mod name, and add a dot at the end, and just type util. And this is going to stand for utility, and we're going to have all of our utility classes inside of here, which will be useful for utilizing like certain attributes for our main class and other stuff. So just hit finish. You'll see it's down here. You can right click the util package, and we're going to make a new class, and this one is going to be called reference. And you can just hit finish. Now this class is going to create, like I said before, some variables that we're going to use in main.java. So we're going to essentially make some public static final strings. The first one we're going to want to make is public static final string mod underscore ID. Make sure that's in all capitals because it's a static string. So usually like the Java syntax is that you have that in all capitals. And this is going to equal, in parentheses, essentially the best way to do this is to have the first letter of your mod and M, which stands for mod. So I know that's kind of confusing, but for example, if your mod was named void mod, I know I love using that as an example, but say it's void mod, you'd put V for void and M for mod, so VM. In my case, it's going to be TM for tutorial mod. So just keep that in mind. It makes your mod custom so that it doesn't like conflict with other mods that are installed with Forge. So yeah, that's really important. And then you're gonna add a semicolon at the end of that. Semicolon again stands as like the end of a like Java sentence. So then we're gonna make another public static final string, and this is gonna be name in all capitals, and this is going to equal tutorial mod. So again, this is the name of your mod, so if it's void mod, just type void mod in there. It doesn't really matter. It's just for aesthetic purposes. So after that, we're going to add the version. So public static final string, and like I said, version in all capitals. And this is going to equal the version of your mod. So at what state your mod is in. You'll probably update this as you work on your mod, but for now I'm just going to put mine as 1.0 because that's usually when you release your mod, is when it's in 1.0. It's up to you however you want to release your mod, but that's what I'm going to put for mine. Then we're going to have to put public static final string accepted in all capitals underscore, and again in all capitals, versions. This is going to be the accepted Minecraft versions that your mod can run on. Now in my case, this is going to be 1.12.2. It might be different for you depending on like what you want your mod to run for, but if you're watching this tutorial series, I'm assuming you're doing it for 1.12.2. This will work for any version within 1.12, so don't worry about that. But you're going to want to add brackets to the end of these, not curly braces, just regular brackets. You'll get an error if you don't, so make sure you do that. Add a semicolon at the end, of course, and we need to make 2 more, and then we're almost done with this class. We're gonna add another public static final string, and this is gonna be client in all capitals again, underscore proxy underscore class. And this is gonna equal essentially where we're going to put our common and client proxies. We won't worry about this right now, so just add a semicolon to the end. Make sure you add an equal sign and quotation marks, and we're gonna copy and paste this down as well and add a common proxy, just like this, common. Like I said, don't worry about this, just make sure it equals and then have 2 parentheses and a semicolon. We'll come back to this later when we actually add that in, but that is your reference class pretty much done for right now. Alright, so now that we have those reference variables defined, we can actually use them in our main class. So keeping all this stuff in mind, we're going to go back to our main class, and we're actually going to go over to this @mod parameter, and inside of these little parentheses, you're going to want to type mod ID in all, like lowercase, equals reference dot mod ID. So we're referencing that variable that we made in mod ID. Then just add a comma to separate them, and now we're going to do name. So name equals reference dot name. That's going to pull the name from the reference class. Another comma. I keep wanting to say semicolon, but I mean comma. Another comma, then version. This is going to equal reference dot version. Very simple, very standard. Oh no, that's it, just kidding, I lied. I thought we were going to do accepted versions, but we'll use that later. So that's all you need for the mod parameter tag. You can actually come over to this @mod and hover over it, and there should be a little thing right here that says import mod. You'll be importing a lot, so keep that in mind. It'll get rid of most errors. So if we import this from net.minecraftforge.fml.common, it will take away the error and we should be good. I'm gonna save real quick. If you've never saved in Eclipse before, it should be up here in the top left hand corner. I would personally use save all, since it'll save all of your classes. So just click that, or you can Control-Shift-S if that's better for you. But yeah, make sure to save a lot. And so now we're gonna actually make an instance This is gonna help with initializing our mod. So inside of this public class main little bracket we have right here, add an @instance, and below that you're gonna want to put public static main and just instance. Make sure main is in has a capital M in main, and hover over instance and import from Minecraft Forge. If you save, that should get rid of any errors, and you should be good there. So yeah, now we have all of the stuff from our reference folder, all of these variables besides these two, which we'll come back to, in our like mod tag. So the mod knows like what they are now essentially. Alright, so now we're gonna actually make sure that we can set up our common proxy and client proxy. These are gonna be essentially what runs our mod on like the client side. So right below at the @instance tag, you're gonna wanna do another tag, so and then cited with a capital S and proxy with a capital P. And just put little, I keep wanting to say quotation marks, but they're parentheses. Put parentheses, and just leave that blank for right now. We're actually gonna go back to our reference.java and visit our client_proxy_class and common, and we're gonna fill these in. So you're essentially gonna wanna put here where your client and common proxy class are, and we'll be setting that up in a second. So essentially what you're gonna wanna put is com.loremaster.tutorialmod. That's what I'm gonna put because that's what I have up here. You'll have something different, obviously. Put whatever this package right here is. So if yours is com.coolminecraftperson.voidmod, then you'd put com.coolminecraftperson.voidmod right here, and just copy and paste that into here as well. Now we're gonna actually set up the package. So go over to your com.loremaster.tutorial or whatever you named it. Right click and click new package. And we're gonna add to the end of this little string a .proxy. This is gonna be a proxy, you hit finish by the way, and this is gonna be our proxy package. This is gonna be where all of our like client and common proxy classes are. So inside of proxy, the package, right click and new class. And first we're gonna make a client proxy, and then go back again to the proxy package, right click, hit new class, and common proxy is what you're gonna wanna name this one. Now, inside of client proxy, this little class right here, come to client proxy, right within public class client proxy, right after that, you're gonna wanna say extends space common proxy with a capital P and a capital C. This is gonna make sure that a client proxy is a subclass of common proxy. Don't worry if you don't know what that means, it's not important. But it is important that you have extends common proxy in here. So once you've done that, you're pretty much done with these for right now. We'll get to them in another video, but they can just stay as they are for right now. So you can click out of those. And so now you're gonna wanna set them up, in your reference folder. So by client_proxy class, after your com.username.mod name, add a dot, and you're gonna wanna put proxy, and then another dot. And for client proxy class, you're gonna wanna put client proxy. Oh, my bad, client proxy. That's basically your class that you have in that folder. So then down here, .proxy as well, and .common proxy. You can tell that they match up with their respective variable. So client proxy goes with client proxy class, and common proxy goes with common proxy class. A good way to think about this is that this is the path with which the actual like Java class is in. So just follow that. A lot of people are going to end up putting com.loremaster.tutorialmod, and it's going to mess up because that's not what they named their mod. Don't do that. Make sure that it's whatever you have your package named up here. Very important. So once that's done, go back to your main.java, and inside of your cited proxy, this is really important. Now we're going to actually use those variables. So type client side within the parentheses with a capital S on side. So client side, capital S, equals reference dot, and then in all caps, client_proxy_class, which is the same name as this thing we have right here in our reference. Then a comma, then server side with a capital S inside, and this is going to equal reference dot common, in all caps, _proxy_class. and that should be this little section right here, done. So we're making sure the client side is whatever we set for client proxy class, and the server side is whatever we set for common proxy class. Again, if you are unaware, those are in the reference folder, or reference class, my bad. And then right below this, we're gonna put public static, and then common capital C and proxy capital C, no space, and then in lowercase letters just proxy, and a semicolon at the end. And make sure to hover over common proxy and import common proxy, and hover over cited proxy and import cited proxy. And then if you save, you should have no more errors, and this should be pretty good. We're almost done. We just need to implement our event handlers, and we should be good to go. All right, so the last thing we have to do, like I said, is create the event handlers, which is really simple. So right below this instance and cited proxy, just make a little space, and we're gonna wanna put @event handler. And this is gonna be an event handler tag. Right below this, you're gonna wanna type public static void, and then pre-init, capital P and capital I in init, and then in parentheses, FML, all capitals, P with capital, or sorry, pre with a capital P, initialization with a capital I, initialization, if I can spell, and then event with a capital E, space, and then event. And just make a little space, add a open curly bracket, and then just press enter and it'll make a closed one for you. Should look basically like this. You'll get a few errors. Just hover over this section right here and import FML pre-initialization event from Minecraft Forge, and hover over event handler and import event handler. And if you save, you should have no errors, and it should look like this, which is very pretty. We're actually going to copy all of this, so hover or highlight all of it, right click and copy. And we're going to paste it right below, and all we're going to do is change, we're going to delete pre. So make sure it just is init, and the I has to be lowercase. Make sure that's very important. If it's uppercase, it will probably give you an error. Java has a tendency to give you errors based on upper and lowercase, so keep that in mind. And also take out the pre right here. So it should say FML initialization event, and you can hover over this and import as well. And that should get rid of the error, and save. And we're gonna do it one more time for post initialization. So copy this, make a few spaces, and add it again. And just add a post with a capital P right before the init, and another post right in here. So it should say FML post initialization event. Hover over this and import from my Minecraft Forge. And if you save again, you should get no errors. And I like to just keep these together. Actually, no, keep them separate. It's nicer. You could keep them together to make it like nice like that, but I find that to be kind of cluttered, so just keep them together. But with that, you're basically done with most of the basic stuff of our mod. So in order to actually test this mod, we're going to be opening up Minecraft and checking to make sure that our mod is like there. There won't be any items or anything like that, but we'll be able to see it in the directory. But for now, we're gonna actually really quickly set up our mcmod.info folder, or file, sorry, which is going to hold cosmetic like descriptions about your mod. Essentially, these will be really important when people are downloading it. So if you come over to your package explorer, go to the resources folder I was talking about, and right below here you'll see inside of it there will be an mcmod.info. If you double click that, it'll come to this little page, and there'll be a lot of placeholder stuff here, like example mod. You'll see there's like mod ID and name and version. Essentially, you're going to be plugging in whatever you put here in your reference class. So it should be very simple. For mod ID, I put TM, so I'm going to put TM. Again, put whatever you put for yours. Name, I put tutorial mod, so we'll be putting that as well. Tutorial mod. For description, not very important, but for right now at least, I'm just going to put a modding tutorial mod. That's all, with a period at the end. And for version, we are going to be putting the version of our mod. So I'm going to put 1.0 since that's what my mod is. And for Minecraft version, this is for 1.12.2. You can put whatever applies to you. URL will be used later to link your like Minecraft forum page or your website. Also, like update URLs are something that we don't need to deal with, but do change author list. This will be you essentially, so you can put your name or your Minecraft name, whatever you think you would fit best. I'm gonna put lore master since that's me, and credits of course is really important. I'm just gonna put all my subscribers, yay, and then like a little smiley face at the end. We can save that, and that should be all you really need to worry about. You can also add screenshots and like dependencies if you have other mods that are required to be installed beforehand, but we'll be dealing with that later when we're actually packaging up and like distributing our mod on forums. So for now, we're gonna actually open up Minecraft and check to make sure this is all working. So go to your main class, main.java, and up here in the top corner, or not corner, I guess it's in the middle, but you'll see a little green like circle with a white arrow. Hover over that, it'll say run, and if you just click that, it'll actually run Minecraft, and it'll take a little while, but down here you'll see is your console. This is where all of the like actual running is happening. This will also tell you where any errors are if you get any, so that's really important, keep that in mind. But Minecraft will run, and it'll take a little while, so I will see you guys when it's done running. Minecraft is loaded, and now we're inside of the actual game, and you'll see that we have 5 mods loaded. That includes the Forge mods. So if we go to our little mods button right here, let me scroll down, you can see that we have our mod here, which is tutorial mod. It should be version 1.0. It'll have your mod ID, all that stuff, credits, and even your description, which means it worked. If you get this little screen with all of your information on it, that means you did it correctly, and we're pretty much done. So yeah, that's really awesome. So now we can just exit out of Minecraft. And yeah, so now we've essentially set up all of the basic stuff for our mod, which is really awesome. With all that out of the way, next episode we can focus on creating custom items, creating blocks, and all that cool stuff. We'll be getting into some really awesome things this tutorial. I'm hoping to really go deep and farther this time. And I've learned a lot more since the last time I made a tutorial series, which is, I think, was like 11 months ago. I learned how to make really awesome like custom generated structures, so we'll be getting into that stuff. It'll be awesome, I promise. But before I go, last thing I want to mention is that I actually have a GitHub page, a repository for this project. I thought it'd be really helpful since a lot of people requested it last time. And if you don't know what that is, essentially all my source code, all of my like, what are they called, folders, all that stuff, all of the code will be up on GitHub. It'll be a link in the description in every single episode, and it will be updated regularly as videos are released. And hopefully you'll be able to go to that if you have any issues, like errors, if you want to just copy my whole entire mod entirely, or just copy the code, copy and paste. All that stuff is open to you. It should be a public repository. So yeah, hopefully that'll help a lot, and that'll be in the description. But other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know this has been like kind of a tedious series, but hopefully we'll be getting into some really fun stuff next episode. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you guys next time.